Good morning, everyone. Another new job for me today. You would think that by farming for now this is my 4th year farming, surely I would have been able to do all of the jobs. No, I'm still learning new things every single day. So today I'm going to be running the liquid fertilizer machine for the very first time. Grant ran this 2 days ago, and I rode with him, and he got me all set up on everything. But today I'm going to do it by myself. So first step is the tank is empty right now. Luckily, we have these full tip tanks right here. This is like semi-permanent storage situation. So it's on a trailer. You pull it out to the field, empty, and then you lower it to the ground, and then a big semi-tanker comes out, fills them up, and then you can't move them when they're full because this stuff is super heavy. But we have a little pump situation here, a hose, and it quick connects right up to our bar. Fill it up, and then we can head out. You find me wearing these gloves because this fertilizer is super corrosive. So I don't want it on my hands, and I'd prefer to keep it off my clothes as much as possible. This is one of those machines that at the end of the season, when we're done applying all the liquid fertilizer, you wash it super well so everything doesn't start rusting and falling apart. So all the liquid fertilizer is kept in that big yellow tank. Then there's a series of hoses, and it's running the fertilizer through the hoses at like 40 pounds of pressure. And then it comes down here. And this is in the ground, like maybe this deep. So this coulter is making a cut, a pretty narrow one. It's just like a little pizza cutter. It makes a little slice into the ground. And then this squirts the fertilizer out right to that little hole. And we're putting on 45 gallons an acre. Look at that, dead on. 1,800 gallons there. This is the field where the big tire tractor got stuck. And it looks flat right here, but there's a lot of hills and draws right past the pivot there. And so that means that it's also the new field that Grant and I picked up to rent this year. So that is why it is completely disked. Most years we don't disc our fields like this. We are going to be planting corn here this year. consistently amazed at, one, the tractor's ability to pull something so heavy through the ground, up a hill. We're going up a hill right now. But then also the fact that the auto steer is keeping me directly straight. Everything, I guess I'm just always surprised when everything runs and works the way it's supposed to. It's just incredible. Technology and machinery these days, it's kind of insane. The coulters themselves, the actual discs, do you see the springs there? They kind of swivel a little bit. So if I turn a little bit with them in the ground, it's not the biggest deal. I've got some room, which is really nice. So I can't make another full pass with what I have left in the tank. And even if I could, I can't make it past the pivot over there with my wings folded out. So now I get to drive, do you see the tip tanks back there? All the way back to those tip tanks and fill back up. For a little weather update for Nebraska, today is one of the first really nice days. I think it's supposed to be 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's been some 75-degree days, but on all of those days we've had like sustained 35-mile-an-hour winds. So it's really not that pleasant to be outside, but there's just a slight breeze today, so I guess I'm not really enjoying it because I'm in a tractor cab, but I'm looking out and it looks very nice. It's pleasant when I get out to refill. On this field in particular, it has a pivot, like I mentioned, but the pivot doesn't have a corner arm on it. And so it pivots around in a circle from the center point in the middle of the field. But this field is a square, meaning that the corners of this field do not get irrigated, meaning that they are dry land. So for all of our irrigated acres, the acres that are under the pivot, we're putting on 45 gallons an acre. But for all the corners, I'm changing the rate to only 30 gallons an acre. So just when I am hitting those corners, I'm turning it down a little bit. Finishing my last pass here. The blue line to the right, hold on, finish that over. The blue line to the right is the edge of the field. I'm just bridging the gap between the two passes I made. So I'm using like my section control here. So right now my very outside row, that little section right there is off. I could almost turn it off again. I'm okay with overlapping a little bit. I just don't want to miss any areas. Now I'm done with the field. So all the operations that I did to unfold the bar, I'm just going to do them in reverse order. I shut my pump off. You can tell because that gauge is at 0, that one right there. So I'm going to fold up, but then I'm actually going to refill before I go home because I'm going to be trading off with Grant and he's going to hop in this machine. But since the tip tanks still have liquid in them, we can't move them, so we'll just be filling from this field. Something that kind of limits our abilities to pull equipment through the yard is these power poles. And so very exciting. Today we are getting power trenched to both buildings. So these power lines and poles will go away so that we can fit the combine everywhere, and then we're going to widen some drives so that all equipment can pull right through very easily. As you can see, there is always a lot of big projects going on, and it's springtime now, and so things are not slowing down, they're just ramping up. So I appreciate you coming along with me, learning how to run the fertilizer blower. I will be spending a lot more hours in that machine, so I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!